Authority in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia Sunday cancelled visas of Nigerian. About 264 people. Yeah, not nice, right?
Don't be afraid of the dark. Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you, baby. Don't let them rain on your spark.
What's happening, everybody? Hope you're doing good. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are very much appreciated. You know it. Okay, so we are in Nigeria, and Nigerians took a flight to Saudi Arabia. Okay, they flew to Saudi Arabia, and on arrival at the airport, they were told that 264 passengers' visas were cancelled. Okay, I think this is something we need to worry about because it's coming back often and often. Okay, I know my Nigerian people are here and many other African people from all over the place. This doesn't necessarily include or concern exclusively Nigerians, but I think we're going to touch different things so we can understand where this comes from. So authorities in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on Sunday cancelled visas of 264 passengers who arrived in Jeddah from Nigeria on Air Peace. And Air Peace obviously is a Nigerian aircraft. They did not explain immediately why the passengers, most of whom were visiting Saudi, were denied entry. Daily Trust reported that the flight took off from Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos via Malan International Airport on Sunday night and landed in King Abdulaziz Airport in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. But the consternation of the airline staff in Saudi Arabian Authority announced that the passengers' visas were denied. Just imagine, you take a flight to a different country and you get there. I mean, you prepare yourself, you get ready for this. And once you get there, they say, no, sorry, you're going back home. For what reason? You don't know. There's no explanation for it. The incident occurred barely 1 week after Air Peace launched its direct flight to Saudi Arabia. 1 week. So this carrier started just 1 week to Saudi Arabia. And it's gathered that it was the Nigerian embassy that waited the Saudi Arabian authority to reduce the number of passengers that will be returned to 177. So from 264 to 177. And the Nigerian embassy had to negotiate with Saudi Arabians to get 177 people returned rather than 264. I mean, this really hurt my feelings. And there are many speculations. What are the reasons? Why do you think the Nigerian travelers have been denied visas to Saudi Arabia? Why do you think? Stop right now. Write your comment and come back. Okay, we're going to try to understand. If you stopped, great. All right, so they did not give a very clear answer to the reason to why they denied the visas to Nigerians. Okay, there are many speculations. We're going to try to go through one by one and try to understand maybe the reason why they refused that. So many people think this new carrier that's flying from Nigeria to Saudi Arabia is a competition to the Arabians. Why? Because it's a Nigerian aircraft. Air Peace Limited is a private Nigerian airline founded in 2013 with its head office in Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria. The flag carrier is the largest airline in Nigeria and West Africa. So it's apparently the largest carrier in Nigeria, but it's not officially Air Nigeria, like the flagship of Nigeria. On the other hand, the Saudi Arabia, the aircraft flying from Saudi Arabia to Nigeria as only, a carrier doing the traffic between Nigeria and Saudi Arabia. Therefore, Air Peace coming now very strongly with reduced prices, obviously, reduced ticket prices that will draw many more Nigerians going to Air Peace than going to the Saudi Arabian aircraft, right? I mean, let's think about this. You have two aircraft doing the same route. Okay, one is more expensive than the other. And let's say quality is not necessarily what you're aiming for. You just want to get there and do whatever you want to do and come back home. Where would you go? Where would you spend your money if you want to keep the maximum of money with yourself? You're going to certainly find the cheapest aircraft or the air carrier, right? And that's what many people think is perhaps the reason why the Saudi Arabians canceled visa. Why did they cancel visa? Is to discourage Air Peace from doing the route from Nigeria to Saudi Arabia in order to keep the monopoly of that route so they can make the maximum of the money they can make. I mean, think about it. You plan this. You don't just go to Saudi Arabia for nothing. Obviously, before you go, With a country like Nigeria, let's talk about this. I mean, Nigeria is not very much known for good things. Unfortunately, fellas, we need to say it. Before you travel from Nigeria to another place, they certainly have already done the research about you. Who are you? Where do you come from? What type of job do you do? Are you genuine? Do you really have the money that you say you have for the things that you're pretending to do where you are going? Before they issue a visa in Lagos, right? Then you take your flight, you go all the way to Saudi Arabia. And you get to Saudi Arabia, they cancel your visa. They say, go back to your country. I mean, if this is just a blatant disrespect to who you are, why do you think they will do that? The first idea is because they're trying to keep the monopoly of the route. We all know that Nigerians' visas were cancelled in Dubai a while back. If you don't know about it, President Bola had to go and negotiate with Dubai after a full year of no visa for Nigerians. And the reason we're not cleared either. Many said it was because Nigerians were doing illegal stuff in Dubai. Some say they were involved in drugs trafficking, human trafficking, drugs and stuff like that, and many stuff. And that perhaps was the reason why they said they don't want any Nigerians. But also, it was not just Nigerians, okay? There was a moment where Dubai completely closed its doors to many African countries. Yeah, they did that several times. They did it during COVID. And at that time, I remember some Africans pushed back because they canceled whatever they had to cancel. Then there was another time, that's when for a full year, no Nigerian could go to Dubai, as well as some Africans. So there was no explanation provided for that. Now, my question is this. Why do Africans accept that? Can Dubai say no to Europeans? Like, we don't want any European in your... Can they say that? If they cannot say that to Europeans, why do they feel they can do that for African nationals? Is it because African nationals are not good enough? Is it because African nationals are not bringing good things in Dubai? Let's face it, Africans go to Dubai to spend money, right? All these girls that you see on Instagram, the slay queens and stuff, they all go to Dubai, right? Many people that want to do business in terms of gold and stuff and come sell back in Africa. If you don't know, many young ladies and Africans, especially in Central Africa, Eastern Africa, will go to Dubai, purchase gold and come back chains, watches and stuff like that, jewelry in gold, and come to Africa and resell. That's money for Dubai. So isn't that a good reason enough? And tourism, spending money on Gucci, on stuff, whatever. Gucci is paying tax to Dubai. So Africans contribute tremendously in the economy of Dubai. So why would Dubai refuse African entry? That's a good question. Why can African reciprocate that when they refuse them entry? Why can't Africans say, you know what, for now, don't send your flight here. Don't send your airplane here. Any of you guys, they should not come in our country either. Because I firmly feel, fellas, people can only respect what's valuable. That's life. People can only buy you at the price you're selling yourself. If you sell yourself high enough with respect to yourself, with consideration, you're most likely going to get the price that you deserve, that you think you deserve. Okay, if you sell yourself short, you show that you are very accessible, you accept everything. Okay, they can do anything they want to you. You're not going to react to it. You're most likely going to get that. The bottom line is people don't give respect for free. People respect what they aspire to. People respect what they cannot control. People respect what they find mysterious. Why can Africans reciprocate? That's a big question. The reputation of Nigerians are very negative. I'm sorry to say it, but somebody has to say it. And I'm sure this is not the first time you hear it. Okay, you can go to Kenya. We're going to put a video about Kenya. This is how Kenyan people speak about Nigerians.
Even in Nairobi here, when you go to Kilimani here, we always see Nigerians opening, wanafungua bunduki, wanataka kupigana na the Kenyans. Those kind of things we have to make sure that they stop. If you go to Donholm, they are doing very crazy things with our ladies. And those are the things that in fact, even this week on Sunday, the police arrested 3 people. Some of them were Nigerians with fake money. M-Pesa, they are hacking into our M-Pesa. They are having fake money, illegal trade that are done by these guys.
This is what they say about Nigerians in Kenya. This is not limited to Kenya. You can go to South Africa. You'll hear a lot of things. Some of these things are not justified. Yes, don't get me wrong. Some of these things are just, completely reach. But are we going to say that the things that a lot of Nigerians are accused of are completely wrong? No. Some Nigerians are involved in things that are very shady. Extremely shady. Uganda has voted a law recently. If you get married to a Nigerian person, instead of waiting for 3 years to get a Ugandan nationality, you would get to wait longer before you become Ugandan. Because some Nigerians went to Uganda, married these beautiful Ugandan girls with the biggest behind in Africa. This is what they say. They have the best behind in Africa. Anyway, they go to Uganda, get Ugandan girls, and get married legally and get nationality, and then they get to fly to Britain, because obviously it is much easier for a Ugandan to fly from Africa to Britain as compared to a Nigerian. Why don't Nigerian get the same benefit from England equally as Ugandan and any other African nation? That's a big question you have to answer. So Uganda voted a law saying no more Nigerian getting Ugandan nationality after little years. They have to stay together for many years. So it's recurrent. This is not something new. It's the same complaint in people of South Africa saying Nigerian doing drugs. Are they telling the truth? Well, not all Nigerians are doing drugs. That's a lie. There are very good Nigerians that are engineers, doctors, and whatever, doing good things. But are they telling complete lies? Absolutely not. You just need to go to certain area. You see, this is run by Nigerians. It's very clear. You go, in the evenings, you can see them running the show. And unfortunately, these ones have spoiled the reputation of all the good Nigerians that exist in Nigeria and elsewhere. And then everywhere you have to go somewhere, you're going to be treated in a way that your fellas, our brothers, have done in the past. It's very sad. And I feel like many of these people need to be held accountable in a certain way. They need to be put in jail for the disaster they're creating around the reputation of a country. Then again, let's not get carried over. This country, Saudi Arabia, decided to send 264 Nigerians back to Nigeria after negotiation, sending 177 people. The reason we're not very clear, so we can see they're trying to avoid competition because this aircraft just started early, it's been a week. They don't want competition, number one. Number two, we also know that there's been an incident with the aircraft almost crashing a couple of times. The latest was apparently a week ago. And there was another incident. They said the incident occurred barely 1 week after Air Peace launched its direct flight to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, they say one aircraft drifted off the runway due to algae contamination. You have an international runway that's contaminated by algae. I mean, you're endangering people. I'm sure this is not the first time, several times due to algae contamination. So yeah, you let me know how you feel about this. Like I said, I mean, it's very sad. Africans need to push back. Okay, there's this stupid thing that some Africans do. Yeah, let me put it that way. Allowing Europeans come to Africa with no visa for 90 days, have fun, go to the mountains, go to the forest, go see lions and giraffe. I can understand some of them spend money, okay? Not all of them. Some of them spend money in tourism and stuff like that. In the meantime, on the other hand, Africans cannot go to Europe for 30 days or 90 days. In South Africa, a British person can come for 90 days. A French person, a Belgian can come for 90 days, no issues. But a South African cannot go to Britain for 90 days. You need to apply for a visa. They need to check where you work, check if you pay tax. They need to check if you're married, check everything. And they may even say, sorry, sir, you don't qualify for visa. Is that okay for you? Is that okay for you? It's not okay. If you're a normal person, it's not okay. Thank you very much. Let me know how you feel about this. How should Nigeria react in this situation? You take a flight, you go all the way to a foreign country just to be told you're going back home. After spending money, you probably sold whatever you had to sell. You probably invested in buying tickets. Nobody's going to reimburse you your ticket, your time, your everything. I mean, it's very sad. God bless.